Could I have one last round of applause for our graduating seniors? Congratulations, class of 2022. You may be seated for a moment. Would the seniors who will perform the national anthem and the senior class speakers please join us on the stage at this time? Would you please stand while Tyler Nguyen and Savannah Weinrich sing our national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light how proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Tyler and Savannah, for that beautiful rendition of our anthem. We are so honored to welcome you all to Seaholm's class of 2022 graduation ceremony today. It is both a solemn but also a celebration of a momentous transition between youth and adulthood. At this time, I would like to recognize our community gathered here today, who, as a family and a village, guided these young adults to this moment today. First, and importantly, would all Seaholm parents please stand? And students and guests, please give them a round of applause. Thank you for the love and devotion and support over these past 18 years. Next, would all grandparents please stand? And again, we will show our appreciation. We hope this is a proud moment that reminds you of your own children's graduation day. I know you feel as if that moment were only yesterday. Now, would any great-grandparents stand? Do we have any great-grandparents today? We want to formally recognize how much we value the gift of your presence here today. You illustrate the rich history and tradition witnessed over the decades. May your lifetime of joyful moments be that much richer after today, and may we all gain through your wisdom. At this time, would all United States veterans or those who are currently serving in our armed forces please stand so that we may extend to you our sincerest admiration. We want to extend our serious admiration, gratitude, and respect for your service to our great country. Your selfless service reflects the values of patriotism, honor, and duty that should humble us all. We honor your willingness and your personal choice to become the warriors who defend our freedoms. Now, would all of you who are Seaholm graduates from prior years and decades past, please stand. Let us look around us and enjoy the sense of connectedness that we share as Seaholm Maples. Soon, class of 2022, you too will become a link with those graduates, forming a bond that will connect you for the rest of your lives, no matter where you find yourself living one day. To those who have graduated before and after you, you are one of the mighty Maple Forest forever. Seaholm faculty and administration, would you please stand? I ask the students and the parents to extend your appreciation to those of you who have devoted your careers to developing not just students, but young adults who are ready to be reflective, compassionate, and honorable in all their interactions with our world. Our continued work and our unshakable faith is that each graduate will make the world a better place than he or she has found it by contributing unique versions of energy, optimism, and talent to our world. I would also like to recognize some other important attendees who play a vital role in your education, even if it is often in ways as you as students and community members don't always see day to day. Our central office leadership and the Birmingham Board of Education devote countless hours to ensuring that our school can and does function according to the best and most innovative practices in educational research. Moreover, our board ensures we adhere to ethical standards, policies, and laws that govern our operations. It is a pleasure to introduce them to you today, and please rise when I call your name. Dr. Mbika Roberson, Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Mark Linneberg, Deputy Superintendent of Schools. Ms. April Imperio, Assistant Superintendent of Student Learning and Inclusion. Mr. Zachary Riley, Director of Technology Services. President of our Board of Education, Ms. Lori Aljouni. Vice President of our Board of Education, Ms. Amy Hokemer. Treasurer of our Board of Education, Ms. Kimberly Whitman. Secretary of our Board of Education, Ms. Jennifer Ross. And trustees of our Board of Education, Mr. Luke Joseph, Ms. Nicole McKinney, and Ms. Adrienne Young. And now it is with great pleasure that I invite to the podium the president of our school board, Ms. Lori Aljouni, who will share her graduation reflections with us this afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome. I love being here, and I love seeing all of you kids in these seats. You've made it. 12 years of school plus kindergarten brought you to this day. And on behalf of the entire Board of Education, we say congratulations. We are also proud of you, and I'm going to start by explaining who the Board of Education is and what we do. So we are elected officials dedicated to public service. The board serves this district as one body, making decisions to continually improve the quality of education and, more importantly, lift all you students up. We also guide and support our fearless, tireless, and deeply dedicated superintendent, Dr. Mbika Roberson. She will be addressing you right after I do. So I am a proud product of BPS. I'm a Groves graduate. I graduated in 19 blah, 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 blah. And I'm a teacher. I was a teacher here in Birmingham for over 30 years. And my other role is that of a mom. And so what I would like to do is I would like to speak to you from this place as a teacher and a mom. I have 4 kids. 2 of my kids still go to school right here in Seaholm that I'm very proud of. But first things first, I want you to thank all of those who have loved you, supported you, who put up with you even when you weren't at your best, who attended your activities, your performances, your sports, the ones who helped you get where you are now throughout these 13 years. So promise me you're going to thank your mother, your father, step-parents, your grandparents, guardians, a teacher or 2, and don't forget your crew. They supported you, and remember to thank them as well. So aside from being a board trustee, I mentioned my favorite role is that of a mom, and I'm going to impart to you some words of wisdom. These are like golden nuggets that I've learned along the way, just a few of them. So hold on, let me just let me get this out. Let me start by Okay, here's where I'm going to start. I'm going to say to you, kids, take care of yourselves inside and out. Don't vape. Be kind. Perform with honor. Wear sunscreen. Remember to challenge yourself every day. Learn people's names and make eye contact. Floss. Stand up for something that you believe in, even if you stand alone. Clean up after yourselves. Know who you are because you are exactly who you were meant to be. Know that you are much stronger than you think. Laugh a lot. Make yourself proud. You rise by lifting others up. Respect elders. They have so much to offer you. Don't let yesterday take up too much of your today. Study, learn, be well informed. Offer a firm handshake. Get a job. Smile a lot. Learn a new language, an instrument, a sport, because you're never too old. Good manners will always open doors for you. Stay fit, exercise. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Hug. Family is anyone you love. An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Actively support freedom, justice, peace, here and around the world, for the Ukrainians, for the Palestinians, and for all those who are oppressed. Everyone has the right to clean water, to health care, and education. Love is love, period. Kids, don't expect anyone to support you financially. You can do it yourself. That's for the moms and dads. Get a passport. Travel. Limit your time on social media. Be present in the moment. When you feel like things are falling apart, then take a moment. Breathe. Maybe they're falling in place. Science is real. Recycle, reduce, reuse. Respect our planet. Leave it a better place than you found it. Read, kids. Not your phones, but a book. Be kind. Offer assistance when you can. Sleep 8 hours uninterrupted to refresh and renew. Act with compassion. Avoid extremism. Walk the middle path. Don't judge. Mother Teresa says, if you judge people, you have no time to love them. No human is illegal. Did I say this before? Be kind. Live purposefully, and you will be able to feel people around you, the world around you. And lastly, especially today, dance. Dance like nobody's watching. Okay, kids, that's all I've got. And I'm out.
Thank you, Lori. That was great. And now, please join me in a warm welcome for Dr. Mbika Roberson.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you to Principal Hall and the Seaholm staff for the opportunity to address our students. Seaholm graduates, I read a quote from a pastor named Stephen Furtick that says, "Your perspective will either become your prison or your passport." Let me say that again. Your perspective will either become your prison or your passport. Now, I have to admit, when I first heard prison and passport, I said, that's kind of dramatic. But the more I let the quote settle in, it is spot on. How you view the world or your personal situation can either have you stuck, mentally paralyzed with fear, unable to move beyond your current situation, or it can allow you to travel to a place that has some uncertainty, but gives you the experiences to learn, grow, and become stronger. See, I have no doubt that you have received a stellar education. As a parent of a former BPS graduate, I know firsthand that your teachers have prepared you well. And parents, just because I'm an educator, don't assume the type of student I had. Our conversations at home went something like this. "Hey, I'm checking your Power School grades and you have missing assignments." "Oh, the teacher must have forgot to tell us about that." "Really? The teacher forgot to tell you about an assignment that was due last week? You want me to email the teacher?" No, I got it." So even that kid was well prepared. I know that would never happen to any of our graduates. But as you move on to the next phase of your life, it is important to understand that there are other principles that are important to know in addition to academic preparation, which takes us back to perspective. How do you view the world, and what is your perspective? I have a few, just 3 fundamental principles that I try to live by so that I can have the right perspective. First, I believe that all things work for my good. Now, I didn't say that all things were good, but in the end, I know that I will learn, be stronger, or be a blessing to the next person because of what I have experienced. In the last 2 years, in addition to being in a global pandemic, being in education has been difficult. In addition to my professional life, I lost my only biological aunt to COVID, and both my parents were diagnosed with cancer. And half my marriage has been during the global pandemic. You guys won't get that, but your parents do. But I have learned not to take people for granted, to cherish being in the moment, and learn to forgive early and often. The second principle that I learned is that life is like the weather in Michigan. Just give it a moment and it will change. Although you may go through challenging times, they will not always last. See, you stepped into your 9th grade year and life was normal. You were getting acclimated to a new school, much bigger than your middle school experience. You were learning the nuances of high school, and as you moved into your sophomore year, you were no longer the new kids on the block. Then 2020 hit. And at the end of your sophomore year and all of your junior year, it was filled with unfamiliarity, isolation, and uncertainty. And that uncertainty may have been one of the most uncomfortable parts of living in a global pandemic. Despite the ups and downs of the last 4 years, you are here in this moment because you have proven yourselves academically in a school district recognized for rigor and high academic achievement. In addition to academics, just this year, many of you, either with your entire team or individually, not only exceeded in district and regional competitions, but qualify as competitors at the state level, including your forensics team, your DECA team, your ski team, your Birmingham United Hockey. You have Math Con finalists at the national level, Birmingham Robotics also in national competitions, and Did I say your women's swim team is state champions 3 times in a row? You work hard to give to the community by hosting Bloom, which is a shop, in case those that you don't know, that provides clothes and other items at no cost to students or the community. The only thing that the students have to do is leave a note thanking a staff member. How you started was not how you finished, because challenges don't always last. The third principle is to live in a state of gratitude. When you focus on how blessed you are, it helps you see the challenge, that your challenge is just one part of the story. It's not the entire story. I spend every morning writing down at least 5 things that I'm grateful for. And by the end of the week, I have at least 35 different things that I am grateful for. And I say write it down just because there are going to be days when things seem hard and unfair. And I'm able to go back and remember how blessed that I am. I challenge you to start this habit, and I'm going to help you start. Today, I want you to thank your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and every person that has helped you on this journey. I know that I am thankful for your village, because your success and ours as a school district can only occur when we work together. Please give your families a round of applause. I also want you to thank your teachers, counselors, coaches, principals, paraprofessionals, or any staff member that stayed after school, answered a question, or made a connection with you to assist you in your journey. Please give them a round of applause. So I know that whether your next step is college, skilled trade school, the military, or a new job, you are well prepared to do anything that you put your mind to. You are resilient, flexible, and adaptable. Not because your high school experiences were perfect, but because they were imperfect. And those imperfect experiences taught you life lessons that some adults have difficult learning. These are skills that will serve you well throughout your whole life. So when life throws you a curveball, keep the right perspective. Remember that all things work towards your good, and that you will learn and grow from any experience. Challenge won't last always, situations change, and when you practice the art of gratitude, it helps you focus on what is really important. So congratulations, mates. We are proud of you, and I am blessed to be a small part of your journey, and I have no doubt that you will positively impact our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Roberson, for that great advice. It is a tradition at Seaholm for the seniors to choose a faculty member who will address the graduating class on their behalf. This tradition actually started about 23 years ago. The first speaker was a favorite math teacher, Mr. Joseph Panchoa, who taught AP Calculus, and the top math department award is named in his honor. As teachers, we all feel that to be chosen to speak at graduation is an incredible honor. When I was invited to speak on 2 occasions, it was the highlight of my career as an English teacher. To know your students would like to hear one more lecture from you definitely improves one's ego. This year, our students have chosen wisely yet again. Mr. Jason Basner has been teaching for 7 years, and he has been at Seaholm for the last 1.5 years, and he has coached football here at Seaholm for the last 9 years. He is a native Michigander. He attended Oakland University and majored in history and minored in social studies and political science. He made his decision to become a teacher inspired by his own 11th grade teacher while he was a student at Waterford Mott High School. He tells me the best thing about teaching at Seaholm is the interaction he has with the students. He spoke at You Matter this week and now shares with us his final lecture for the class of 2022. So let's welcome to the podium, Mr. Jason Basner.
Put this a little higher. All right. Seaholm staff, administration, Board of Education members, Dr. Roberson, and most importantly, class of 2022. You know, I had a direction I was going to go with this, but then I'm sitting there and I'm watching all of you, and I can see your eyes drooping a bit. It feels like a Monday morning and you just woke up 10 minutes before first hour started. So here's what I want y'all to do. Graduates, okay? Stand up, get the blood flowing a little bit before I get going. All right. Man, some of you on the struggle bus out there, holy moly. All right. Go ahead, sit down now. So I got two main themes I want to roll with you all today, all right? The first one is that failure is okay. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, why is Baz talking about failure when we're having the success of graduation? I'll build towards it, all right? Because many times there's so many of us that are afraid to fail. And listen, failure isn't a bad thing. There have been many people throughout history that have turned failures into successes, okay? We can't fear failure. We need to embrace it and embrace those disappointments because, as I said, there's many successes that can come from it. For example, if people had given up after failing, we wouldn't have the light bulb. We wouldn't have any airplanes, and there wouldn't be Mr. Basner at Seaholm. Now, it's not easy to overcome disappointment. Trust me, because I've been told no 4 times. And trust me, it's not a great feeling. And the last time it happened, as we got the party boat going behind us again, some of you wish you were probably on it. But the last time it happened, I got told yes, and then a week later, I got told no by the same people. They said it's not going to work. And then a week after that, I got told no again. And trust me, for someone like myself, who those of you that have seen in class, comes across very competent, that was a huge, huge disappointment for me. And it was after that that I started losing a little bit of confidence in myself and wondering, you know, am I approaching things the right way? Am I truly cut out for this? Because, you know, you have a lot of confidence in yourself, and then to have that happen, it was truly devastating for me. And there are people that are here today that know the impact that had on me. So I'm having all these self-confidence problems. But then I got another opportunity, and I started coming out of that, and I started feeling confident again. And then COVID hit. And to tell you where I was teaching at the time, how tough it was to talk to a bunch of blank screens all day, not fun. Not fun. And teaching wasn't fun for me anymore. I was just, you know, I hate to say this, but I was kind of mailing it in a bit because I wasn't having fun. And I always am a firm believer that to truly enjoy what you do, you have to have fun doing it. But then the opportunity came to come to Seaholm in February of 2021. And that was the first time I got to meet some of you. Now, obviously, because I had been coaching football at Seaholm for so long, I have my connections, and I have some football players that are graduating today. But it was the people that I had in class that truly started bringing me back out of that funk I was in. And it was the group I had this year that really reignited that spark in me and made me feel that I was back. And those of you that I had in class, I'm going to tell you, you don't know how much that meant to me. And I'll build on that in a second. But it was during those disappointments and that reflective moments I was having that I made a choice. I made a choice that I was going to find some type of success in every day, whatever it may be. Those of you that have had me in class, hear me talk about it when I say be a 10, right? Because when you look in the mirror to start the day, you don't tell yourself you're going to be a 7. As the party bus flies by again on the boat. Right? You don't look in the mirror and say, I'm going to be a 7 today. Because imagine if you're a 6. Sounds good. Good stuff. Or imagine if you're a 5, for that matter. But if you look in the mirror and say you're going to be a 10 on a daily basis, and you're a 9 or you're an 8, that's still a powerful day that you've had. I feel like I'm being punked here. I know some of you had something to do with this. It's probably your strange uncle that's out on the boat. Yeah, blare it when Baz is talking. But imagine that. If you strive to be a 10 on a daily basis, you can find a lot of successes and still be a 9 or an 8. And that's a powerful thing. Now, as I said, those of you that I had in class, and those of you that I got to talk to in the hallway on a daily basis, you do not truly realize what you have done for me when I say that you reignited that spark. You're the reason that I have a high energy Monday when I walk in the door. You're the reason that I get myself amped up to teach every day on my drive in. You are the ones that motivate me to be a 10 on a daily basis. So I truly thank all of you for that, because it's you that make it happen for me. So in closing, dare to be great. Dare to be great. Challenge yourself to be the best version of you possible on a daily basis. Aspire to be something you want to achieve. Be a 10. And always remember to bring the smoke. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Basner. Your final words to the class of 2022 illustrate the positive power of our profession to impact students. At Seaholm, another tradition that differs from other high schools is that rather than the student speakers typically being the valedictorian or student congress or class presidents, all students are invited to audition to speak at graduation. The panel of judges include administration, the senior class sponsor, the English department chairperson, and at least 2 seniors who have been leaders in the class. This year, we had an unusually high number of outstanding speeches, so the choice was extremely difficult, but we managed to narrow it to these 3 outstanding students. Please welcome our first student speaker, Mr. Sam Frank.
Well, nice. We got police to help us out with the party bus, I guess. Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Sam Frank. Before I give the rest of my speech, I just want to say one thing. I did not get the privilege to talk here today because of my GPA or writing ability or speaking proficiency or even my dashing good looks. I'm actually here today because my dad, you see my daddy, over there, he works in admin. He works in admin, actually. Yeah, that's why I'm here. In all seriousness, I do have some important things I want to talk about and frighteningly little time to talk. Before I say what I want to say about my peers and the faculty here at Seaholm, I'm going to give a little background on myself. Middle school for me took place at Berkshire, which is pretty uncommon for Seaholm graduates. But I do know there are a few more of us out in the crowd. Coming into my freshman year, I knew essentially no one. Despite being incredibly terrified about that in the moment, I think going in blind was good for me. I was extremely lucky to be forced into cross country, and I'm very glad I stayed with band, because freshman year, that was how I met everyone I knew at Seaholm. Those two activities kept me afloat in the sea of new people, harder classes, and trimesters. Through those amazing people, I met and was able to interact with even more of my grade. New faces begot new faces, which led to me meeting a lot of people. To all of these lovely people, I want to say thank you. All of my peers who I stand before today, you made me feel included, loved, and at home. Movies always made high school seem so cliquey and horrid, but at Seaholm, I feel like none of us are afraid to talk to one another. Jocks and nerds at Seaholm seem to have no problem conversing about common interests. And no one, at least from what I've experienced over 4 years, truly looks down on others. We aren't a grade of people who peaked in high school and nerds getting revenge. We're a grade of winners, and I'm sure all of us will succeed immensely in whatever we try. Other than just my peers, there's a lot to love about Seaholm. The academics here are more than just praiseworthy, they're the golden standard. What I've learned here will stay with me forever. Well, for the most part. I know I'll never forget that apoptosis is programmed cell death. I'll always know what buffers are, and then remember I do not know how to calculate them. I'll always know what groupthink is and that it affects us all. Mr. Bruns, I'll be honest, there's no way I'm retaining any calculus other than the power rule. And Dr. Wilhelm, I'm extremely sorry to say, but the unit circle has already faded from my memory. However, I will always know that the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. For those of you who never had Mrs. Martin, I'm truly sorry you don't know that one. Back to being serious, I've learned so much more than book knowledge at Seaholm. All of the faculty here has helped me become a better person. I'm far more confident now than I was as a freshman, and I have Seaholm to thank for it. However, I have two particular teachers I want to shout out for my character development, Mr. Seabour and Ms. Petrozzi. Seabour emphasizes the rests in his pieces, but more importantly, he emphasizes the rest in life. Because we're young, we tend to rush and try to go too fast through things. Timmy, you've taught me to take time to breathe and listen to the world around me. Thank you. Miss Petrozzi has been so influential to me this year, I weaseled my way into having her for all 3 trimesters. You taught me and everyone else in AP Lit how to actually learn about a person. Instead of worrying about superficial opinions like politics, you taught me to learn who someone is on a deeper level. A person's morals, values, and beliefs matter so much more than the color of their tie or ballot. This idea leads me into the parting comments for my class, and I know I've been up here long enough, so I'll keep the 3 things I have left to say fairly short and sweet. As I've just stated, please don't focus on people's politics or stereotypes. Every person is different, and a vast majority of the time, they will have a perspective or experience that will be beneficial for you to hear. Secondly, if you want to be successful in something, anything, there are only 2 factors at play: how long you've practiced and how lucky you are. Opportunities will come your way. Be prepared for them. And yeah, I know I stole that from Outliers. Finally, and in my opinion, far more important than anything else I've said, be yourself. I don't mean this in some corny Disney Channel way. truly be whoever you want to be. We are transitioning into a place where the people around us have no clue who we are. Use this as an opportunity. As a freshman coming into Seaholm, I decided to be unabashedly myself. Because of that decision, I've become happier and more confident than middle school Sam thought possible. Walk with swagger and make yourself into the person you strive to be. Be your best self. Love yourself. Peace out.
Thank you, Sam. And now, please join me in welcoming Mr. Tyler Nguyen to the stand.
I'm freaking out right now, but okay. Hi, students and families, teachers and faculty, mentors and peers, dear friends and people who I probably haven't spoken to since freshman year or ever. I wanted to start by saying thank you for listening to me drone on at a podium for one last uncomfortably final time. I'm incredibly grateful and ecstatic to have the opportunity to speak at such a pivotal moment in all of our lives. This speech is not intended to be advice or a lesson, and I don't really want to call it a message either. I'm not in the place to give any of those things, really. Rather, it simply contains my thoughts and one request. Firstly, I'd like to wish the class of 2022 a congratulations because, here we are. We've made it. In spite of a pandemic cutting our high school experience in two, we returned to Ernest W. Seaholm High School, excited to make the most of a year that would end in the blink of an eye. Month by month, I was in awe of the things that you all had achieved, from DECA finalists and Model UN best delegates to athletic state champs and tournament winners, robotics geniuses, national merit scholarship contenders, one perfect ACT score, and countless other accomplishments. And we all shared some wonderful memories too, from sweeping field day this year to an invigorating and well-deserved homecoming game win. We're a driven graduating class filled with ambitious and talented people hoping to live their best life. In 4 years, we have triumphed over countless struggles brought about by some of the most chaotic years this country has ever seen, garnering many achievements all the while. For me though, it was strange looking back on 4 years that felt more like one, not in a literal sense, of course. We've all matured, had new experiences, and made many great memories. But personally, this is the first year that I felt like me. It wasn't until junior year that I started figuring myself out and things started to come together. And this August, coming back fully in person, I resolved to advance my passions, conquer my insecurities, and show what I cared about. Initially, I was apprehensive, to say the least, about putting myself out there. But as I embarked on these new pursuits, the affection and praise and kindness I felt from this community, and especially you all, meant the world to me. So on that note, I'd like to talk about one of the greatest gifts I've ever received, and what I think is one of the greatest gifts anyone can give. Unless you've donated an organ or something, I don't know. I'm talking about respect. Personally, that's what I think of when I think of the class of 2022. Frankly, we aren't the closest of grades, and there are times where we don't agree on things, but in spite of all that, I found that we have a great capacity for giving respect. This class is filled with some of the most intelligent, creative, articulate, witty, compassionate, confident, charismatic, and generally impressive people that I've ever met and probably am ever going to meet. The praises and acknowledgement from tremendous athletes and incomparable musicians and unparalleled scholars as I embarked on new endeavors were what fueled my ambitions and helped my passions grow. It is because of the respect that I felt from this class that I was able to achieve, to be proud of what I've done in high school and my experiences thus far. Now, I'm sure the words you all have changed my life have been uttered in tens of thousands of graduation speeches before me, but I cannot stress enough how appreciated and secure and free I felt because of your kindness and decency. You all have changed my life. On that note, as we all embark on our separate ways, I would like to humbly ask that you give your respect a little more freely. Share your commendations more openly, offer your support more frequently, and continue to be good to your fellow human beings. I'm not saying respect isn't earned, and I'm certainly not saying respect can't be lost. However, in my experience, it has been practically impossible to find someone with nothing to admire. I found more often than not that people are deserving of more respect than we give them credit for. And with a simple acknowledgement of someone's dedication, good nature, or ability, you can provide them with more comfort and compassion that helps them go further than they ever could imagine. I urge you to acknowledge the people around you. Thank your friends, your teachers, your family for what they've done to you, and take in this moment that we all share. Wow, this is great. Because for some of us, we will never be surrounded by so much talent and compassion and overall impressiveness ever again. As we begin the next chapter of our lives, there will be hardships ahead. But by providing others with support and decency and kindness, you can help someone push through and change them for the better. I am certain that no matter what struggle the years ahead bring, the incomparable individuals of the class of 2022 will continue persevering and achieving. I'd like to close by offering some thanks. Firstly, a major thanks to our parents, family, guardians, for your constant support and putting us in proximity with such remarkable individuals. Mom, Dad, Jake, Dylan, love you guys. To our teachers for your heartfelt lessons and listening. To the administration for maintaining the environment that made everything possible to us. My dear friends for keeping me sane and on the occasion driving me insane. But once again, from me to you all, thank you, class of 2022. And I wish you all many great things to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. And now our final student speaker, Miss Anna Broderick.
Hello. Writing this speech, I was really scared I wouldn't have anything meaningful to say. I was afraid to disappoint my class, to spout off empty quotes about just moving forward and persevering through challenges. But after some reflection, I think that's actually why I wanted to try out for this honor. I don't feel like I am particularly enlightened for my age and just bound to share my infinite wisdom with you all. But I think that's the lesson of this, that sometimes you jump into things head first, simply because you wanted to try it out, like I did, stumbling off the diving board into a pool of the unknown. I'm sure all of you can relate to being afraid to succeed, whether it be academically, professionally, or socially. The fear of failure and the unknown can be terribly paralyzing. And I wish I could stand up here today and tell you to simply turn that fear into confidence and just pursue the unknown without hesitation. But that's often not true, is it? Our generation lives in a time of political turmoil, rapid technological advancements, and the only accelerating threat of climate disaster. There is a lot going on in the world today, and our generation has been called to help solve these problems. Because as we head off into the rest of our lives, walking out the doors of Seaholm, we will be asked many questions about our future. And I always felt a pressure to know the answers to those important questions, especially in a school surrounded by the success of Birmingham. We are often expected to know exactly what our future has in store for us. But it's okay to not know what you're doing. That's what growing up is about, jumping blindly into new experiences and daunting situations, so you can figure out who you are. You can't always control the situation with which you are in, but you can always choose how you are directing your attention and energy and the mindset in which you tackle those challenges. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Albert Einstein said that the world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. And I say today that no matter who you are, what you have experienced, or where you are headed, you have the courage and power to chart your own path. It is never too late to be who you want to be. Live a life you are proud of, work on things you are passionate about, and live among people you care about. We are the Seaholm High graduating class of 2022, and we have gone through a lot in these past 4 years. And throughout it all, I feel privileged to have been able to witness the incredible resilience and empathy my classmates possess. To my peers who organized local Black Lives Matter protests in 2020, I salute your courage and strength. To my friends who created Asian Student Association, I thank you for opening a space where many students like myself could finally share our culture and background with others. To my best friend, who will be the first in her family to go to college, I am so incredibly proud of your hard work and dedication. And to the hundreds of other incredible and talented classmates gathered here today, I salute each and every one of your accomplishments during our time together. I am so proud to stand before you all today. So as we end our time here at Seaholm, I urge you to take risks. Go after the goals which frighten you and lead your way with strength and empathy in each step you take. Don't hesitate to be vulnerable in order to connect with others. Get out of your comfort zone, for the uncomfortable is where you will truly grow. We do not have to be fearless in the pursuit of our future. Just do not let fear stop you from achieving your dreams. Have the courage to carry on despite that fear and go accomplish your goals. Thank you so much, and congratulations to the class of 2022.
I told you they were good. Could we have a final round of applause for the outstanding student speakers that we have heard here today? If you'd like to join do you want to join your classmates? Yeah. Wow, Seaholm graduating seniors. In just moments, I promise it's coming, you will walk across this stage and join the thousands of Seaholm graduates who came before you since Seaholm was built and its first class graduated in 1952. I enjoy imagining what those early graduations were like. Did you know that at one time, Seaholm had over 2,000 students in grades 10, 11, and 12? That's all. We didn't have a ninth grade at that time, but there were over 2,000 students. That would mean that there were about 700 students in each graduating class. The significant people of those years, including Ernest W. Seaholm himself, president of the Birmingham School Board when our school was opened, have become faceless names. But at one time, they were the movers and shakers here in Birmingham. I'm not sure his dignity can take it when you call him Ernie. Or Ross Wagner, for whom our auditorium is named. He was the first principal here at Seaholm. And he once canceled field day for 2 years due to student rowdiness. I love thinking of these people, lost to us in ways, but who live in Seaholm's history. Story. You won't be surprised that as a former English teacher for 34 years, I see life as a metaphor for stories. For the past 4 years, Seaholm has been the setting of the story for each of you. And you are the hero who may or may not have, as a freshman, entered Seaholm through the cursed middle door. You are the hero who navigated each year the journey through field days and final exams. You have met the wise mentors along the way in the classrooms, the G Hall, the little theater, the gym, and the counseling office. You encountered beautiful princes and princesses along the way, seated next to you in classes or at dance. You met jokesters and players who added laughter and mirth to your day. You may have met dragons and villains who tested your mettle and strengthened your resolve. All these figures have provided the major and minor characters of your own narrative. You met on fields and courts with opponents, perhaps waving navy blue or orange banners, who either fell before your prowess or who taught you the meaning of humility. All of these characters have shaped your identity in many ways and may continue to do so for years to come. Now, the time has come to move, metaphorically speaking, into the woods. Don't be afraid, for you are ready. Don't be afraid, because the journey into the woods is the only way to secure your happily ever after. And after all, you are the maple forest. You should be very comfortable in the woods. You are all wise, having learned to be, after all my reminders, to be reflective, compassionate, and honorable. You are all wise enough to know that you can't just find happily ever after as if you could receive a knight's kiss or pull a sword from a stone and be done. No one is waiting with a glass slipper or a magic carpet. No, instead, you must create this happily ever after, the one meant just for you. Only you can write the next plot twists and adventures. Yes, this high school chapter is closing, but like commencement that it says on your program that occurred this day, why, this chapter is only the beginning. The story goes on, and that is the lesson of life. The moment you were whisked away from your parents to be cleaned and swaddled, you began a separate story from them. I hope you live that story, that life, savoring its ordinary glory, like Ulysses, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Ernie and Ross are somewhere smiling, I'm sure of it. And now, Dr. Roberson, it is with boundless optimism and immense pride that Mrs. Spryzak, Mr. Wicker, and I, along with the entire Seaholm faculty and staff, present to you the class of 2022 to receive their diplomas. So that you may begin the commencement of that journey beyond high school. Mrs. Spryzak and Mr. Wicker, would you please lead our students to the stage at this time?
All right, here we go. John Dedvicek. Jacob Noel Shogun. Lindsay Elizabeth Hockman. James Alfred Leslie. Joshi Donnie Melindo Adams. Matthew Gerard Allery. Amoria Angel El Karawi. Alex Antonio Eloy. Dominic Anthony Aluzo. Kalela Rakaya Armstrong. Zachary Charles Ashker. Olivia Ann Ashley. Sophia Marie Ashley. Daniel Alexander Ostapovich. Asimina Maya Badwar. Olivia Carolyn Bakurji. Natalie Ginikanwa Bakan. Ryan Nicole Balberman. Hunter Brennan Baldwin. Milo Eli Barron. Nicholas Michael Barrera. Dominic Joseph Battaglia. Colin Patrick Behrman. Andrew Pierce Bell. Grace Catherine Bebuck. Sydney Carol Bishop. Emily Catherine Blake. Abigail Rose Blakely. William Franklin Blonsky. Olivia Kate Bloom. Tessa Ann Boydus. Maria Fernanda Bolanas Hernandez. Ashton Blake Bozerde. Megan Marie Boyle. Patrick Joseph Branch. Francesca Rose Brandstrom. Gabrielle Elaine Breton. Layla Grace Brewer. Anna Yoko Broderick. Lena Sabrina Bromer. Audrey Theodora Brown. Joshua Francis Bukowinski. Ryan Ross Burdick. Carly Ann Burkle. Carly Nicole Burry. Anne Marie Rose Caldwell. Jalen Christian Calloway. Joseph Allen Campbell Jr. Carlos Timothy Castaneda. Evan Dean Cathy. Benjamin Robert Catlin. McKenna Kristen Cazell. Carson Philip Chow. John Thomas Shinonis. Eva Giselle Clancy. Jonathan Pierre Cloutier. Ellison Charlotte Cook. Taryn Rose Cullen. Samuel Joseph Svetnovsky. Patrick Walter Paul Zarnicki. Matthew Wilson Dannon. Rachel Katie Davies. Alexis Ann Deegan. Haley Lynn Deegan. Lucas Paul Dimmer. Eliza Jane Dixon. Emily Reed Dunnigan. Luke Matthew DeRocher. William Frederick Eberline. Sophia Rose Elgie. Noah Benjamin Feller.
Eduardo Ferdinandi de la Porte. Adam Lewis Fisher. Lily Fisher. Ryan Maxwell Flynn. Braden Harrison Forge. Simone Catherine Forte. Samuel Harris Frank. Ruben Diego Signs Friend. Ethan David Frost. Finley Elizabeth Gates Shear. Paul Thomas Galloway. Alexander James George. Margot Jean Jermack. Owen Michael Gieskin. Matthew Ward Gilbert. Katie Ann Gord. Nina Frederique Graham. Alexander Michael Green. Zion Allen Green. Eva Rain Grills. Alexander William Gusho. Zumi Hagopian. Kevin Sampson Halsband. Juan DeCarlos Hammonds. Ethan Hunter Harris. Kyle Michael Hauk. Kira Kelani Heatherly. Sawyer Riley Heckert. Kendall Hastings Henderson. Jacob Zachary Hessen. Ryan James Patrick Higgins. William Joseph Hogler. Paige Alexis Holdaway. Samantha Marie Hollow. Ryan Douglas Howlett. Sarah Linying Hubbard. Sam Hyde. Victor Arun Iyer. Nicholas Josiah Jen. Luke Thaddeus Johnson Sears. Maya Sage Jones. Sydney Joy Jones. Ethan Anthony Kamen. Kyle Nicholas Karamanian. Robert William Kirschenbaum. Benjamin Cuddy Kazaya. Samantha Ann Kozlowski. Chloe Ariana Kreindler. Cannon Edward Kruger. Joshua James Quo. Penelope Jane Lang. Mia Ann Lanway. What? Stephen Anthony Lasky. Stefan Jean-Claude LeBaron. Robert Berg Limos. Amber Elizabeth Leslie. Daphne Levy. Luke Avery Liddell. Margaret Rose Liebler. Jessa Renee Linderman. Avery Jonas Edwin Locke. Ella Victoria Locke. Andrew David Lockhart. Anthony Paul Long. Ethan George Lons. Lauren Elizabeth Lowers. Hadley Scott Lavelle.
Mahala Elizabeth Macheski. Sophia Vanessa McKinnon. Daniel Matthew Mansour. Ethan Matthew McCardle. Mallory Elizabeth McCann. Daniel Aiden McElroy. Alexander Ian McIntosh. Catherine Riley McKee. Cameron Rose McFall. Ava Simone Melville. Nicole Christine Merchant. Alexandria Claire Mercurio. Joseph O'Shea Masano. John Wilson Malia. Brendan Marr Miller. Ella Catherine Miller. Nolan Michael Miller. Simony Cole Griffin Miller. Dyson Alfie Mingo. Stephanie Marie Monk. Rourke Miles Montgomery. Gabriel Ellis Moranti. Anna Elizabeth Moss. Zoe Zana Mullen. Antonio Caleb Munez Cardenas. Daniel George Murphy. Cameron Nememba Murray. Katrina Kelly Ness. Paris Lynn Newberry. Tyler Tuan Nguyen. Hugo Anders Nikoloff. Ava Sabel Nearhouse. Ainsley Grace Norman. Evie Madeline Norris. Owen Patrick O'Neill. Taft Parsons IV. Ambarish Namish Patel. Ian McGowan Esta. Mary Elizabeth Paisano. Madison K. Plowman. Suzanne Marie Pompey. Anita Ria Pataya. Tyler Hugh Quinn. Luke Sconset Radloff. Parker Jane Rafferty. Iris Annette Rind. Miquelon Angela Santo Rosselli. Avery Margaret Riker. Emily Wharton Robinson. Evan Julias Rodriguez. Emma Catherine Rogers. Benjamin Todd Ralston. Juliana Dominica Russi. Joshua Andre Sabah. Parker Joseph Salchicoli. Chloe Lucine Sarkeesian Serlin. Kyle Alexander Sayers. Ella Gisela Schmidt. Jack Thomas Schneider. Aiden James Shaner. Justin Lee Schoner. Lydia Jean Selden. Richard Viador Samalana. Liliana Rose Salalokia. Sejal Maya Sharma. Davis William Vaughn Shepard. Nora Cherie Phi. Jaron Nikhil Schreffler. Lexi Peyton Simich. Grace Catherine Simpson. Catherine Louise Syrick. Sawyer Isaiah Smith.
Sky Elizabeth Snyder. Sophie Marie Soderwall. Marlena Soyo Edwards. Spencer Thomas St. John. Ella Jane Stangland. Catherine Lily Stanley. Jack Maine Stanton. James Darby Stone. Kathleen May Sullivan. Serena Chrysanthi Tan. Marika Elise Telu Mafa. Lauren Elizabeth Turlap. Sterling Reuben Thompson. Fiona Haley Todd. Rory James Brady. Aiden Michael Treeweiler. Jack Samuel Trench. Samantha Carvalho Coelho Turner. Emily Michelle Van Hefty. Jacob Christopher Vance. Wyatt Van Hees. Isabella Marie Vaughn. Samuel Mayer Ventimiglia. Nicholas Vitelli Wachholz. Alex Michael Walters. Grant Carl Wanachek. Sarah Jane Wardlow. Anna Elizabeth Warnamundi. Charles Kotcher Weber. Savannah Rose Weinrich. Eva Jasmine Wellings. Alan Therese Shiusa Wellman. Whitehall. I know, honey. Lauren Ann Whitehall. Peyton Jess Whitelaw. Marigold Kyle Wicks. Elizabeth Jean Wiegand. Evelyn Grace Wilson. Timothy Reagan Wilt. Andrew Nicholas Winchester. Jane Lee Weinman. Sloan Francis Winquist. Luke Edward Wishmeyer. Ethan Casey Wise. Cameron Elise Woolfield. Tegan Atir Woolfield. Nina Marie Volodkovich. Carson Riley Wood. Jack Ronan Wood. Brady Lucas Wright. Akurin Jajo. Fiona Elizabeth Zeit. Sam Edward Yang. Haven Mary Youngblood. Henry Robert Zachary. Samuel Norman Zachary. Nicholas Carmel Zamet.
All right, could I have one last round of applause for the class of 2022? As we leave here today, we are going to, those of us on stage, your teachers and the administration are going to, the music will start and we're going to walk the same way we walked in. So we're going to lead you off the stage and row by row, we're going to go back up, go through and back off and off there. And then you can join up with your parents. There are lots of places to take pictures and that kind of thing, but we do need to expedite our leaving. And so please, students, wait until the faculty and staff and everybody leaves. If we could have the parents, if you could stay seated until all of the graduates have left the theater, that would be wonderful. And now we have one last symbolic gesture worthy of any fabulous tale. You may move the gold tassels on your caps from the right to the left, signifying that you are indeed a high school graduate entitled to all of the rights and privileges accorded to that academic ranking. When the music plays, please wait for your Board of Education and teachers to lead you from the amphitheater. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that